Hello, everyone. This is Yonks with REtoken DAO, and this is our TokenTown working group number 6. And we were already together for a couple hours earlier today, making a lot of progress. One of the most noteworthy things that we did earlier today was we finalized on our NFT founding citizen benefits / parameters for TokenTown, Colorado. So TokenTown is the new subdivision that we're looking to deploy, build here in Colorado within an opportunity zone. That's really the only, I think, top level parameters that we've got is Colorado and opportunity zone. And one of the reasons of the opportunity zone is that's just to take advantage of additional capital through qualified opportunity funds that are available. So again, this is TokenTown working group number 6. And we've got, let's take a look actually over here at our project. This is a project page on the REtoken DAO GitHub, and you can see our organization over here. And super excited, we actually won the Gitcoin Decentralized Governance Hackathon, and there'll be a conversation about that, showcasing the winners here on October the 4th. And I think that that is Monday, October the 4th, so just a couple days away. So put that on your calendars. That'll be super fun to also see. Besides the grand prize, we also won the UMA. So shout out to the UMA project. We've got Poopster largely representing UMA team over here, and he's been attracting a lot of awesome people to our project because we think our project is pretty spectacular as well. And that's why we're here today. And some of our working groups here, this is our, again, our 6th one. We're looking to have our submission package finalized, and that's one of the main things that wanting to work on here tonight during our working group. And one of the other things, and I was excited to see what some of the efforts that Poopster, I'm not going to show the emoji or whatever, the NFT that he minted, but that's one of the things that we're hoping to complete during tonight's working group. So it's not too late to join the winning team. We're just getting started here, everybody. And we've got, I mean, this American-made solar prize, although we do have the deadline that I just spoke about coming up here, that we're wanting to have our packages finalized by October 4th, just in a couple days. That's just for the ready phase. That's one of 3 phases that we've got ready, set, and go. And assuming that we were in the ready phase, we will proceed on, and we'll be looking for other people and to build out this amazing team that we're getting started over here. So looking at the agenda, I've got a little bit of tab sprawl going on over here. So I'm gonna see if I can find that here. This looks like one I can close out. And over here. So I've got the Coinvice. This is one of the opportunities or one of the things that we're looking to do during tonight's working group is get Coinvice online, and all kinds of tab sprawl. Do I have any hidden ones back there? I do. Look at that. Okay, look, now I got a nice clean working screen, but that doesn't mean I don't have a gazillion tabs going on. So all the tabs. So let's see if I can find it, the Trello board here. I'll just open a new window because that's what I normally do when I can't find stuff. Okay, so this is our Trello board over here. This is our Trello card for today. And the agenda over here is minting social tokens on Coinbase. So one of the things before I get started on the proposed agenda, I wanted to see if anybody, you want to share what your findings were on the NFT there, Poopster. It sounded pretty promising. I'm wanting to hear about it.
Well, yeah, I just found a minting platform on that works on Polygon Network really fast and really easy. And I sent the link to you. I think you should have it there. So yeah, you can mint ERC 721 or the 1155s, either one. And yeah, worked out pretty great. If you don't mind, I don't have the link right in front of me. I guess maybe you can share the information. You're muted. You've been muted. Yeah.
Thank you. So the thoughts are: do we have anybody that can do the art, or should we just bang something out? I'm kind of indifferent. I think it would be cool to have one that looked awesome, but also I'm more interested in the underlying utility of the NFT than actually just having a pretty picture. Am I still muted? Would somebody
No,
want to
I
chime in?
had a friend that I'd asked to take a look at it, but I don't think he's gotten around to.
Okay. Well, we can circle back on that, I guess, here in a minute. Let's go ahead and get these social tokens minted, and then the other thing, I think we might need to do some ENS updates, and I can't remember if we need to do those before. I don't think that we need to do those before we mint the social token. So let's go ahead and get going on the social token minting. So over here on Coinbase, and I'm going to go ahead and let Amy into the room. Hey, Amy, thank you for joining us. You're just in time. We were literally about to start minting the token for the social token on Coinbase for TokenTown, Colorado. So other than that, just had mostly an introduction, and you haven't really missed anything. So welcome to working group number 6 here for TokenTown. Any thoughts or concerns before we get on with the minting of the social token here? I'm going to take the silences. Let's do it. Okay, this is the feed for all your activities. Create a token, and let me see if I'm over here. So I'm on mainnet. I don't even know if I've got a. Let me do that. Chainlist.org, and here's what that process looks like. It's probably because I don't have it there. It looks a little different. So I'm going to connect my wallet. And search for Poly. And that's the one we want with 137. Add the MetaMask. Approve. Switch network. So that's an easy trick that Poopster told me about for adding Polygon. We want it on Polygon over here. I'm going to just refresh this real quick and create a token to start. Make sure I'm on Polygon again. All right, create token. And this is TokenTown CO, TTCO. And they recommend 10 million. That's what we've used for all of our other social tokens. Or I think it automatically says million right there. 1,000, million, or billion. So 10 million. And description. This is a fun token for TokenTown, Colorado. The HOA destroyer. A project by @REtoken DAO. The Real Estate DAO. I think I'm going to add the Twitter in here for TokenTown DAO. Okay. And I'll just put this on my clipboard so I have this. I'll throw it in this chat here too. That is description used when minting TTCO on coinvice.co. All righty. Now I might have to have some poly in here. I can't remember if it costs anything to mint the token. I guess if it's letting us do it, it doesn't. I'm gonna have to send over a couple poly though to facilitate any airdrops. We're not actually going to be doing any airdrops because that's something, and just putting this out here, talking out loud, I think it'd be better to curb doing any airdrops on TokenTown or TokenTown Colorado until after we finalize our submission package. I'd rather not have any distractions on that because that's just more of a, you know, catching up and a housekeeping thing. And I think that that would be a distraction. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. I'm open for feedback on that, but we only have 2 days to finalize our submission. So that's kind of what my thoughts are on doing any airdrops for TokenTown or TokenTown Colorado. Looks like Dax is here to join the party. Welcome, Dax. You are just in time, sir, to watch us. We are minting TokenTown Colorado. So we're just waiting for Coinvice to do its thing here right now. And feel free, anybody, to chime in here. I'm just kind of waiting for this. Going back to our agenda over here. So right now we're going through minting the social tokens on Coinvice. And then one of the other things that we need to do is set up the Ethereum, the ENS, so that we can use Snapshot. And then hopefully we can get the NFT launched. And one of the things that was talking about, I can't remember if you were on, Amy, but I personally don't really like this NFT isn't supposed to be like a pretty thing. That doesn't mean that it couldn't be cool. And I think this might be Dax styling in here too. Oh, look, I think we have a success. Is that you, Dax, that just joined on the phone line?
Yes, I am. Hi guys, how are you doing today?
Very, very good. Look, we have a new social token, everybody. So congratulations. This is one of the things that we have had on the list. It seems like have kicked that down the road, because like one of the things that we did earlier today, and I don't know if everybody saw the tweet on that. Well, I think the only person that wasn't here earlier was Dax. So that Dax occupied a good majority of our conversation earlier today, was the just coming to a general consensus as far as and making sure that the TokenTown people that have signed up on our official team were kind of aware of how that's being structured and everything like this. But let me get this screenshot right now. Okay. And I'll just move that screen over here. So, and I'll copy that to the clipboard. Minted TTCO on coinvice.co. And that username is, I'll put it in here too. Because what I expect, and the social token platform space is going to heat up substantially. It's no secret, if you've been on any conversations that I've been on, I'm a huge fan of Polkadot. I really like what they're doing with their infrastructure. So it'll be interesting. Like one of the projects that is gonna, I think, really be one to watch is called Subsocial. But time will tell on that. So anyway, I'm going to throw this in here in the main TokenTown. So have TokenTown Colorado set up on Coinvice. And then we have our contract address. I'm going to put that in here also. Okay, nice. So on the Gnosis, so right now, one of the things that we did a little bit differently, and I'm not still sure how I like it, because like one of the things that I think is occurring right now, and it's probably for the better, because like over here on the TokenTown DAO, and this is the screen that I had up earlier with the near wallet, but right now don't have any Ethereum in the TokenTown in the MetaMask account, but in the Gnosis safe, and that's actually what I was getting ready to open up here, that we created for TokenTown. We don't have any Gnosis safe for TokenTown, Colorado yet. And that's something that we can talk about here tonight or tomorrow. I'm more interested in, I think, curbing that until after we get our submission package done, because and I don't know what it's going to look like as far as setting up the minting of the NFTs, but here's the wallets that I have added right now, and I think that we also have the Polygon wallet for REtoken. So here's the one for TokenTown. And this is relevant because we've got the ENS domain in here under apps. And that's where we've been managing the ENS domain. But where I was going with that is I think it's been burning my Ethereum out of my own personal wallet instead of out of the Gnosis safe, which is a little bit confusing to me, but I don't have that much experience with Gnosis safe. So we're all learning together here. I just wanted to bring that forward as an observation. And we'll take a look here if that's the case, because we're getting ready to do an ENS update on our subdomain. So that's one of the things to get a little bit of scalability and to reduce the, and as far as the framework and the architecture with TokenTown. And one of the conversations that I would like to have after we get our submission package finalized here soon is with DAO House. Had the opportunity of sitting next to Deacon with DAO House and connected with him at Wyoming DAO Day. So wanting to circle back with him because I think DAO House might be a solid framework to explore using for TokenTown and TokenTown, Colorado. So just putting that out there to kind of park it on the shelf as like an opportunity that we'll have to have a conversation with one of the coolest DAO frameworks that exists. DAO House is pretty well respected, or not pretty well, they're very well respected in the crypto and DAO circles with what they are creating over there. So anyway, getting back on track for our agenda. Does anybody have any questions here right now? Real quick, I'm going to take a little pause, take a drink. All righty. So Ethereum naming service. So this is, again, we're managing the TokenTown DAO.eth here in the Gnosis. The reverse is currently set to the Gnosis wallet, which is this guy right here, the 564B, with right up here, 564B. And under here, we've got the subdomains. We've got the one for Colorado, and had to do this one for Snapshot and that's our main. And I'm gonna bring open the tab here real quick. Snapshot. The reason that we had to do that is because we did the reverse here for the Gnosis safe, and like on the docs for creating a space on Snapshot, and it's pretty easy. And this is something that we're getting ready to follow anyway for TokenTown, Colorado. So over here, I've got TokenTown, and you can search for TokenTown, or if I could spell right, TokenTown. So here we've got, this is the one that we set up yesterday, I believe, during the working group, and don't have any proposals, but and that's something I might just do another type of TTCO for the very generic logo until we come up with something better. But that's what we're going to work on right now, is setting up. So we've got the ENS domain, and technically we're using the subdomain over here. And that's, again, the nice functionality that we can get. And hopefully at some point down the line, because that's still kind of a cost prohibitive dynamic, is setting up the Ethereum naming service. Hopefully when we see the proliferation of other naming services, that's something that Snapshot may embrace. But right now it's the Ethereum, and right here, get an ENS domain for your space. So we've done that. What we need to do now, though, is update the details for it over here. And let's actually go through and do that over here. Make sure I'm on the right profile for CO. So we are, and let's go ahead and go to snapshot.org. And I'm going to go ahead and connect our MetaMask wallet for co.tokentown.dao.eth. And we're going to click on the little plus, create a space. And this is where we have to set the reverse, and we're doing co.tokentown.dao.eth. And this is what we have to update over here in the following the instructions. This is where you link the blah, 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 the ENS domain to our space. And this is where we need to add a record, and we're going to add a text record, and it's snapshot. And then we have to paste in the IPNS, save. And then the other thing that we're going to also do is we're going to put in the Ethereum, the MetaMask wallet for that. And I'm going to grab that over here on the clipboard. That way it minimizes our updates here on the Ethereum. So I don't know if we need anything else. We've got the snapshot line down here. Let's go ahead. I don't know if I want to put in a description or not. We could put in at TokenTown DAO, TokenTown CO. TokenTown by TokenTown DAO, the HOA destroyer, a project by at REtoken DAO, the Real Estate DAO. And I think all of this stuff adds extra cost. And again, I'm going to double check here. I'm going to just throw it in the chat, because I do think it's taken my, which I think is kind of a bug in my opinion, because if you're managing the ENS domain in a Gnosis safe, I would think that it would be taking the Ethereum out of the Gnosis safe instead of the associated MetaMask wallet. Again, I'm just a new person here on all of this. And this, the cool thing about this is that we can update this whenever. It does cost to do each update. And I think the more details that you do, the more that it costs. So anyway, that's what's required. And like one of the things that's pretty cool about this is when you complete this step right here and you just do a refresh, it'll look differently. And we'll see that when the transaction completes. So let's go ahead. Does anybody have any questions on this? This is like the third or fourth time that I've done this. So it's getting easier and easier each time. But anyway, I will. Questions, anybody? Thoughts? Confirm it is.
So
go ahead, Dex. Go. Yeah, I'm listening.
yeah, you're saying that it takes the ETH out of your wallet, instead of the the wallet that associated with the TokenTown DAO?
So yeah, because right now we've got the ENS in Gnosis Safe. And so but right now I'm also like, the way that we set up the owners on the Gnosis Safe is myself and Mrs. Yonks, our two wallets. And so we're functionally managing the Gnosis Safe through yonks.eth right now. And I believe, and that's one of the things that I think I was making this observation the other day, and you can see right here now, but let's look. Let's go ahead and click on confirm, because so let me get a screenshot of this little milestone here. And let me bring in participants here real quick to add a little bit more value to who's hanging out with us on Saturday night. So thanks everybody for hanging out. I'm having a lot of fun. Hope you're having fun too, because if it's not fun, why are we doing this, right? That's my thoughts. All right, confirm. And this is where it should pop open the confirmation transaction. I think we got to submit here. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger because I want to get a screenshot of this also. See, in this freaking transaction, this is such bullshit. Like, this thing is almost $100 here in today's value to just do a text update like this. This is the problem, that why, you know, situations like Polygon and Polkadot, and because of this.
It's slowly working itself out.
It is, and I mean, I'm not going to undermine what Ethereum has done. It's pretty fabulous, and the development community around Ethereum isn't going away anytime soon, and probably never, honestly. I mean, they have a very huge first mover advantage as far as all the dev talent that they have, especially even compared to Bitcoin. So looks like Teresa is going to be joining us here. All right, I'm going to admit Teresa. Good evening, Teresa. We're just going through, we just minted the TokenTown Colorado social token, and we are currently on the process of setting up the snapshot for TokenTown Colorado as well. We're just doing ENS. I just saw my Brave browser pop in the transaction confirmation over here. So let's see, we should have, and I'm curious here, what did I say that was? I think I put it in the, see right here, Dex. So yeah, it's definitely pulling out of the personal wallet. So I'll make note of that and follow up with Gnosis Safe, because in my opinion, that's kind of functionally a design flaw. And there's our transaction successfully executed. And I'm going to get a screenshot here of this one as well.
Yeah, I see that it was before 2.36. Now it's 2.33. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. And I put it in the, I mean, I think the screenshot that I had of that, you know, it was like, and this is the problem, or the why that we're seeing the proliferation of off-chain or L2 solutions. Like Polygon is functionally a layer 2 solution, if I understand their architecture correctly. But anyway, we got that updated. So going back here to our snapshot, I believe if we refresh this, it should give us where we configure our settings now. So let's see if that's in place. And I don't know how long it takes. Voila, see, now we can call this TokenTown CO is what I was thinking. What do you thought? What are all your thoughts? Or TokenTown Colorado, or put a dash? I'm open for input.
Just TTCO, TokenTown, Colorado.
You want it even shorter, TTCO? I kind of think
TokenTown, Colorado is fine.
you want it spelled out or just CO?
What? CO is good.
That's what I used on the Coinvice because it's a little bit shorter, and I think that there's an opportunity to get like a hashtag. I think I actually used a hashtag TokenTown CO on a tweet that I did with the selfie earlier. So the symbol, and I can't remember if we have to put that in there. And let's see here. And I think it's got the address right here. And this is where we change the symbol to poly, and then we put in the contract address that we just created, which is this guy right here. And this is something else that we'll add whenever we get our NFT minted. We'll have to add another strategy for the NFT. And I don't know what that'll look like yet because I've not done that, but I do know that that's an easy thing to add as far as a strategy component. And I think that that should be it for the settings here. All right, looks like the snapshot is online for TokenTown, Colorado. Snapshot successfully created for TokenTown. CO. Oops. And I'll get a screenshot of this too, although I'll probably wait until I get one that's got the logo on it and probably just use that until we get something better that whatever that screenshot was from minting the coin, which is right here. That's got what we got done earlier, just a few minutes ago. So let's see. All right. So now do we want to launch the NFT or do we want to work on finalizing the submission package?
I think we need to finalize the submission.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So when are we gonna, if we're gonna kick the can down the road on the NFT launch, do we want to allocate like a time? We're 40 minutes into this 2-hour working group. And I would like to get the NFT launched either today or tomorrow. I'm okay curbing it till tomorrow and working on the submission package here the rest of the time today.
I think we need to make a headway on the submission first. And so all we need to do tomorrow is fine tune it. And then you can have your NFT thing either, we can always do another 2 meetings tomorrow if need be.
Yeah, I'm open for that too. The thoughts are with the NFT launch, I'm hoping that we get a decent amount of traction on that so that that can be one of the featured bullet points in the plan portion of the narrative. So let's go ahead. I'm going to reorder this, and we'll postpone the NFT launch conversations till tomorrow. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I think what you can do, if you're really itching to promote that, you can do a pre-launch, and then people can sign up for that pre-launch before you even drop the NFT.
Well, that's the challenge, in my opinion, is when you're talking about a sign up for a pre-launch. I don't even know what that would look like, because that's one of the benefits of like OpenSea and just social media is we don't have anything set up for facilitating like a pre-launch, and I don't know if what that would even look like as far as just a technical execution.
I think we need Kyle.
Well, it sounded like Poopster minted an NFT earlier today using that site, but I mean, I'm quite okay having that conversation for tomorrow. I was just making the point that I think that the sign up page would probably take more efforts than actually just launching the NFT. That's kind of my thoughts, and I don't know if you have any. Since you minted an NFT, you've got more experience now, Poopster, than I do.
Yeah, I mean, it literally takes seconds. So I think we just need to like just decide on the whatever artwork we'd be using. And I know that Erica had said that she was a graphic designer, so I tagged her in the chat and asked her maybe if she didn't want to look at trying to design something for us.
And to be clear, my thoughts is that the costs associated with minting an NFT and then burning an NFT and moving to a different situation, if I understand things, depending on, as long as we're not like saying, hey, the artist gets like 10% every time that the thing is bought or sold, and that's kind of like that, I'm more interested in just something pretty vanilla to provide the utility functionality instead of like saying, hey, like I'm the artist, I want to get compensated for this NFT, because this, in my opinion, it's not an artist NFT, it's a utility NFT. Now, that being said, I would like to compensate the NFT or the artist. I don't think that it should necessarily be like a royalty component, and that's something that we can have some conversations with. Not today, because we're curbing that. But let's get on the show with the finalizing of the submission package. Does that sound like what we're doing now then?
Yeah, that's what we should have been doing, Jason.
Well, I will disagree, because I think that there's a lot of value in what we're doing here as far as the social proof. Because to be clear, regardless of what happens with the submission package, and I will make sure like that it gets done, just like I made sure with the Gitcoin Decentralized Governance Hackathon, that we'll have a package that will be, I think, a winning submission. So I think that there's a lot of value in this, in leveraging the time sensitivity, as far as I think that the social proof with what we're creating here with the framework of the DAO will provide a lot of value as we move forward here past the next couple of days. Because most of the submission package, it's just a matter of getting things in my head onto paper in a manner that will, I think, move things forward. But I want this to be a team effort on everything, and want to, anyway, let's get the GitHub page open right now. So one thing too, I think that looking at the organization on the people, so we still have it. I'm going to reset the size because this looks a little big. So the pending invitations here, we've got a couple people, and I don't know if this came through for you, Amy, and I don't know what, because this is you, right?
Yeah, that's me.
So I don't know if you wanted to contribute to the editing of the project, but right now where we've got the narrative over here. So I'm going to open this up in another tab. and scroll down here to our submission, finalize the submission package section. So right now, the thoughts are here with the narrative is to group everything together right now, because I don't think that some portion of the narrative, as far as like, and the narrative really has 4 components. And I think that this is the thing that we need to spend the most time putting together a well positioned submission. The other stuff, and this is something I don't know if anybody has any experience, because I think the cover page content, and that's something that I'm going to do some additional research on here over the weekend when I'm not in front of the Zoom, to have a better understanding as far as what other people have submitted. And there is the opportunity for everybody to look on the American Made history. Like if you just do a search, and this is something that the lady was telling about, like round 4. So here's the submissions for the teams. So you can see everybody's, the grand prize winner, and then the finalists and the semifinalists, and what that looked like. And this is, I guess they had 2 grand prize. And I think that you had a great idea, Amy, as far as reaching out to these people and see if these might be some potential partners, solution partners in the hardware category. I think a lot of these are probably hardware, because that's one thing to keep in mind. The first 4 rounds of this were entirely hardware. It's only with this 5th round that they introduced the software submission component. So does anybody have any thoughts or on the GitHub? I mean, it's a pretty easy dynamic, and I'm going to just hop in here and start editing real quick. Narrative, and I'm just going to break this down into the 4 areas that it talks about: problem, solution, team, and plan. Problem, solution, team, and plan. And again, the thoughts are with this, before we finalize, because there might be some slight variations, like the problem for the hardware narrative should be different than the problem for the software narrative, and kind of tuning that out. But like the team, and I know that there's some people that for whatever reason aren't wanting to be on the software track of the team, and so that's something that we'll have to make some caveats as well. And then the plan, I think a lot of the plan will be the same, and whether that looks different as we progress through this, that's time will tell. But right now, we've already got a little bit of a plan that we've been working towards, and that's right here already over here, the execution strategy. And it won't be that hard to take this. And I'm actually just going to do that right now. Copy the execution strategy from the project page and put that in the narrative page. So let's see right here. And I don't know exactly how to link over here, but either way, I'm not going to save that change. So just moving this functionally from where it was at, and I got to add one more. And this is something that can clean up and make better over here for the final submission. Like one of the things that I was wanting to do is create a table. I just haven't had the time to take a look at the markdown language surrounding that. So, and I'm just gonna break this down into just TokenTown working groups. So let's see what we've got on the preview. So this is the 4 sections in the narrative: problem, solution, team, and plan. And I know that Tyler's been having some conversations with getting the details finalized for the team. And that's another opportunity where utilizing some GitHub table language. And that's something that those people that have a little bit more experience with the markdown, and I feel decently composed on the markdown. I think I actually posted in the Discord and just doing a search, like I'd encourage everybody to just get good at using the search on Discord because it's pretty amazing. So let's see over here. GitHub Markdown for various things. I guess I put that in and learn. So here's that article that I was talking about, organizing information with tables, GitHub Markdown for various things. So just putting that in a tab over here. And this is where you can have some nicer tables for, you know, like displaying a team of content, or like instead of having just a bulleted list of the, because like with the working groups, the opportunity to make this a little bit prettier. We're getting ready to upload the YouTube and just putting that in so that everybody can see just as far as the plan, because this is functionally, the plan has been unfolding before our eyes this week. And this is more of what everybody can expect moving forward. We did a very similar dynamic for when we won the Gitcoin Decentralized Governance Hackathon. And prior to the Gitcoin Hackathon, I personally had zero, and you can look at my GitHub page over here take a look at that. I just opened up the tab, and this shows my contributions. Like this is when started plugging in over here, started looking a little bit more, and I don't even know when I created the account, but you know, you can see the activity, and this is when we were really finalizing the Gitcoin Decentralized Governance Hackathon. So it's a pretty cool little table, but you can see here, nothing. So I'm not a developer. I'm a serial entrepreneur, but been having fun. I like the Markdown code. So anyway, I'm gonna take a look. I think that this is, well, that's the wrong one. So going back over here. So, and again, this is something where we're limited to 25 words, and that's something where we can use a word counter to kind of, and a lot of this, as far as the potential solutions partners, that's something that we won't need to. So this narrative markdown page is kind of a draft. And then what I was thinking on that is that we could break it down with a narrative like underscore hardware, narrative underscore software. This is me being super creative here. So what is the thoughts on that as far as like utilizing GitHub to finalize our narrative?
The software and the hardware is two separate submission, right? You're not submitting it in one package.
Correct. And what and that's where I was talking about, like right now, here, because like the team is largely going to be the same. There might be some slight variations, but most of the people that are on TokenTown by REtoken DAO are signed up for both the hardware and the software tracks. Oh, one of the things that I wanted to do, and I need to find that window because this is an important component here that I wanted to move forward with. So, and let me see, I think I might still have these invites pending. So one of the things that I did in between our working group earlier today and right now is I went through and signed up as REtoken DAO, utilizing the Gmail account for that, because one of the components, I want this to be a team dynamic. And I get concerned when I hear people being concerned about credit for different things. This is a team effort, and I want this to be positioned as a team effort. And that's actually one of the things that's an important criteria over here, is like one of the action items that we need to make sure gets delivered on is the getting a bank account created for REtoken DAO. And my understanding is that we should have some time between now and when the submission or when the determination is made, because it doesn't sound like the determination will be made until sometime in December. So that being said, let me go ahead and accept REtoken DAO LLC as a team member on the hardware and on the software. And the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to promote REtoken DAO to the team captain and the REtoken DAO to the team captain here. Because we're all a team here, and I'm a firm believer in the acronym TEAM. Together, everyone achieves more. And this is just to show my commitment to the REtoken DAO team here, in an effort as we are moving forward. And this is one of the things Hoopster said earlier, is that we don't wave a magic wand and everything is autonomous. And it's going to take some time. And I would love, I'm not a real estate person. I see the opportunity here for really changing a dynamic that I don't like the way that it exists today. And that's one of the things that I want to be a catalyst for this disruption. And I'm committed to you guys, the REtoken team here. And I feel that the way that we're launching and have launched REtoken thus far is very much a fair launch. And I think it would be hard for somebody that understands fair launches to say that it's not been a fair launch. So, and this is just my commitment here to, again, everybody. So does anybody have any questions or thoughts on that effort that I just took there?
So the narrative is whatever it is that you fill out in the GitHub, that's how you're gonna fill that in, the problem, the solution, the team, and the plan.
My understanding, Amy, is that we can, and that's one of the opportunities. We had the office hours with the people from ADL Ventures. That's an opportunity that we have, and I think that we should utilize that opportunity to, between now and when we finalize our working groups tomorrow night, get an email over to the ADL Ventures team so that they can review our submission package, where we're at so far, and provide some feedback. And the biggest opportunity, I think, to provide feedback is on the narrative here. That's the thing that needs to be most well, and I guess the plan extends because this is the header for plan. We just don't have any of the details in these other sections.
Let's go over the narrative then. What is the problem that we're trying to solve?
I believe that currently most newly constructed homes in America are not built with solar, with American-made solar technology. We believe, and I think that that's the problem statement right there. For the hardware. Oh wait, put this under problem. Even with the any thoughts on the problem statement there? Yes, no, cheers, cheese, as Tyler likes to say.
I'm still thinking.
And I don't know if somebody wants to take an action item to research, provide some substantiation. I don't know if we necessarily.
I think we can use, a little bit of scientific data to put in the adoption of solar technology, the current, well, we could say technology, the new technology of solar energy, the adoption for newly built homes is whatever percent it is. We have to research that. And our solution is to improve that adoption through building these subdivisions that are solar powered. You know what I mean? I think we have to word it in a way that whatever is the current problem in adoption, and our solution is building this community using solar that is more current in technology, more sustainable, and also can be monetized. Those three things are something that is not happening right now in the solar industry. And that's what we intend to do with our solar is have a Bitcoin mining along with it, and make sure it's sustainable and it's gonna be paid for. So we just need to word it better, is what I'm saying. So on the problem, we need to research a little bit more and put a data on that, and then put the solution as what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. I don't know if we have the opportunity to see the previous, and that's one of the things that I'm going to take as an action item personally between now and our next working group. Is I think a lot of the information on other team submissions are viewable publicly. And I mean, obviously ours is going to be viewable publicly here as well, putting it on GitHub. And I think that's one of the opportunities that we have, not necessarily here, but we've already seen, and Poopster can attest to this. The reason that Poopster here is today is because he saw our project, the REtoken DAO project, on the Decentralized Governance Hackathon. So the opportunity to participate in additional things between now and then and open source that. So yes, I do agree, to circle back to your comments there, and work on improving the problem and the solution. And the plan is really where I feel that I'm going to work on getting this really dialed in here as far as cleaning up the details that are in here right now. So that's kind of the thoughts on that. Does anybody else have any thoughts as far as or concerns? One of the other benefits here of using GitHub is the way that I understand things is that tools that we can look at implementing, and again, that's we're going to have a tools conversation here very soon. I promise you that. And one of the tools that I understand has the capabilities of taking the contributions that are being made in a tool like GitHub and factoring that into an incentivization mechanism for the rewarding of REtoken. So again, I don't want to go off on a tangent. I just wanted to put that out there as far as another benefit of using GitHub right now. I'm going to go ahead and save what we've got here. And I think I'm going to make a remark over here, because I basically brought the details from the execution strategy over to the narrative page. And I'm going to just add I'm going to go ahead and save this here real quick.
The very first winner of the hardware track year 2017 is a solar company that plans to provide solar in mobile homes. And they won that hardware track, which is, I feel like our projects is somewhat similar. And their goal was to improve adoption of this solar panels and all that in mobile homes. And if we can word it right, because that is somewhat similar, if we can word it right, then we're actually addressing the same situation, but in a different approach.
I'm going to take out HOA here. I'm going to just call it a next gen subdivision, because HOA in and of itself isn't the subdivision. It's just the governance of that subdivision. So I think that distinguisher is important. So improve the adoption of cutting edge American-made solar technology by creating a next gen subdivisions called TokenTown. And I actually really liked the verbiage over here on our main, what is it called? The team page. And I don't know if we should utilize this in the solution somewhat. This is kind of a combination. And I think we should also put something in here, and that's the thing, we don't have to finalize this, but we will also deploy Bitcoin and or other blockchain server infrastructure that will make use of the extra energy generated from this net positive energy subdivision. Bitcoin mining hardware and or other blockchain server infrastructure that will make use, because that's definitely a hardware component too that I think is a unique a unique aspect, because I haven't heard of any other solutions providers that are looking to combine accommodations with crypto mining operations / blockchain infrastructure. So I'm going to go ahead and save this here. Added details during working group 6 Zoom meeting. And I'm going to just throw this in TokenTown channel real quick. Making more progress on our narrative. So how's everybody feeling about the GitHub here? As far as most people are, the only person that's been doing too much talking here about this has been Amy. I would love to hear some input from other people.
Yeah, to me it looks good. I can work on the table structure. I'm familiar with that, so I'll be happy to do that. For the what we're looking at right there about the schedule, and as for the participants or the team, they are concerned as well. I can just like a quickly mark a table or something like that. You just need to plug in the information there, name, whatever, email ID or
yeah, and feel free, Dax, to hop in and start doing that. And I think Tyler, Mrs. Young, she's been getting a lot of the details, and I think mostly on here just utilizing people's LinkedIn profile and potentially their Twitter profile. But yeah, looking forward to seeing how that we can make this a nice table, and we can have a side conversation on the table for the working groups, because one of the things that I was thinking of is like a link to the YouTube, a link to the Poe app, and then just kind of like a column for the date and the time, and maybe a column for the so like maybe a 4-column table. And we don't have some of those details right now, but this is just me thinking out loud, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. I like that idea. Having a direct, link to the. If anybody wants to, anybody like to see that, they'll be able to just click on the link, and then the YouTube, video launches, and then they'll be able to just watch the whole thing. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a good idea. Yep.
And let me just throw some thoughts here too. Dax, here are thoughts for columns on the working group GitHub, like TT, whatever short code is, whatever we call that short code name, I don't know. And then like date, time, YouTube, and then for the POAP. I think that would be beautiful. And then the team on the
done.
team table, like name, LinkedIn, Twitter. Do we need anything else on the team table? And I'm going to put name / hero X handle. How's that look there?
Did the Hero X handle already have our LinkedIn information? I thought that's what she asked for last time.
Potentially, and I don't know what's in there. And actually, I'm going to make one other thing, like a very short bio, like 100 words or less short bio. I think that'd look good too. How does everybody think about that?
I think you need to set a deadline as to when that needs to be submitted so we can incorporate it in the.
Well, and here's everybody an action item. Come up with a short bio that you want to be on the GitHub page for yourself, and then we can just throw that in on our working group tomorrow. How's that sound for a takeaway for an action item for everybody? And I'll communicate that as a follow-up. Okay. And I'll just do a little. I'll just do this. I'll just put in the main channel over here. Please finalize a short bio. We will use this on our narrative page for hardware, software track submissions. And I'll put a link over here to the narrative page again. See our page. Oh, let me that'll be working group 7, huh? We're on 6 now. All right. So we've got 45 minutes left here tonight on going back to the narrative, and let me do a link here real quick because I pulled these details out, moved these details over to
Jason.
yes.
I think one of the things that we're solving also is making solar installation affordable by tokenizing it. Because right now, the only way they're doing it is if I want solar in my roof, I have to either take a loan from that, and part of it is paid by the government incentive. And the option we're doing is we are tokenizing projects. And so it's not only cheaper for the homeowner when we implement it in the subdivision, but it actually, how should I say it, can provide cash flow in the future since we're linking it to Bitcoin. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know if
Yeah,
we can word it in a sense.
and I think that that's on the software, because the capitalization would fall under the software track and not the hardware track, if in my mind anyway, right? So, and I don't know if you can see what I did here, but I just added for right now, since we're working under the single narrative page, and this will just provide an easy mechanism for breaking it out when we go from the narrative that we've got now to like a narrative underscore hardware, narrative underscore software, where we can just take what we're working on in the single page and then split it off. And because like I said, the team and the plan, I don't know if we really need to provide too much here for the ready phase as far as differentiating, because right now the functionally the plan isn't any different. And again, I think I spoke to that earlier, but so on the software, like through the creative capitalization using digital assets / security tokens, this will allow the upfront costs of solar technology to be manageable by the occupants of these dwellings. We also, by deploying TokenTown in designated opportunity zones, US Census tracts. This will also allow additional capital through qualified opportunity funds. And I think, I can't remember if I mentioned it, but I did get a verbal letter of support from David Silliman, the CEO of Easy Do It. Just a little backstory. That's how most of us came together here. Amy, Teresa, myself, Ryan, through the amazing Opportunity Zone Club on Clubhouse. Tyler and I are personally committed to the Opportunity Zone program. We're going through the Certified Opportunity Zone Advisor program. I spoke earlier. We are planning on going to the Opportunity Zone Expo coming up in November in Nashville, Tennessee, and gonna also apply to see if we can get our project submitted, America's Top Project. That was something that Tyler and I got to, as not as pitching a project. So to be clear, like when I was in Austin, Texas in September, on September the 10th, TokenTown wasn't even Teresa really stretched me and encouraged the vision for Crypto House to get bigger. So now, instead of building one crypto house like what we were originally trying to do, now we're wanting to build a whole neighborhood of crypto houses. So thank you, Teresa, for helping expand the vision. And that's how we got here to TokenTown, is now we see that as the best path forward for what we believe is a real solution, combining the accommodations play with the crypto mining operations and putting that in a package together, and then utilizing the extra energy from using America's finest solar technology. And we even want to tap into geothermal if that makes sense at the parcel that we, the founding citizens of TokenTown, Colorado, when we get farther down that road of geothermal. So not only can we potentially utilize solar technology, but we could potentially utilize geothermal technology so that we can have all kinds of energy to do all kinds of crypto mining operations. So anyway, going back to this, I'm going to see if I can get on here to pitch TokenTown at America's Top Projects. And that's something too, if everybody could be just kind of keeping their eyes open, like one of the things that we just barely missed, and I don't necessarily think that it made sense from a timing standpoint, but one of the things that's going to be coming up here is Gitcoin. They just finished up grant round 11, GR11, and I believe it's in September. They do that once a quarter, and I believe it's coming up again in December, but that's definitely something that we need to put on our roadmap to explore, because again, that's more opportunity to really gain some additional exposure, continue throwing some fire on the momentum, join the winning team, wave that flag for all that we can, and keep on winning. That's the biggest thing. If we keep on participating in projects and we keep on winning, that'll just further substantiate that narrative that we're in the line that we're towing, join the winning team. So going back here to this, let's see, I added a few more things. I don't know if I've actually made a save here on this. I'm going to go ahead and make the save for this real quick. Added some additional details. I think I need to make the change over here too. Moved the details for execution strategy to narrative.md. Okay, execution strategy. Okay, and there's that. All right, so we've got half an hour left. What else do we want to focus on here for this half an hour? Or should we give everybody their half an hour back? How's everybody feeling right now?
Are you gonna do the video for the submission?
Yeah, you're talking about the 90-second one. The video for the submission package, Amy, is that the one that you're talking about? Did we lose Amy?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I feel pretty confident as far as doing a video, and this is just one of the things that I'm working through some scripts in my head. And this was one of the things that Tyler encouraged me to watch was the over here going back to round 4. I actually watched the video for the grand prize winner from Solar Prize round 4, the Aero Shield Materials, in his video, and it was just a pretty easy talking video. And one of the things that should be very easy for us to find is, I think it would be pretty easy for us to find an under construction neighborhood and like, you know, really hit the narrative that we're talking is that most new homes that are being constructed here in the US are being built utilizing solar technology. And I think that from the hardware standpoint, and I'm still thinking through what I want that to look like on the software standpoint. And that's one of the things that could maybe showcase some of the tech that we've already put in place, and just thinking through the biggest challenge that I'm going to have there is keeping it to 90 seconds. So that's something that I'm going to work on practicing here on Sunday and Monday. So yeah, I'm feeling confident. I do quite a bit of talking in front of camera, so I'm not shy. Again, the biggest challenge I'm going to have is getting it down to the 90 seconds, I think. And if I understand this one, and if somebody wants to clarify, the way that I'm thinking this through is the cover page content is kind of just like, hey, here's our submission package. Here's where you find all the resources for our submission package. That's my understanding. But again, I'm gonna do more research personally on the other previous projects that were in there. The biggest thing too that we looking through when we circle back tomorrow is really what I'd like to have happen from tomorrow night to Monday morning is circling back with ADL Ventures. And that was the opportunity. I moved it over here to our done board. But that was this card that had right here is the office hours with Madeline Bundy. So if you want to take a look at that on Trello, that's something that Amy, myself, and Tyler, I can't remember, you were on it too, weren't you, Poopster, or we're not? I don't know if he's able to speak. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, I was just checking to see. I can't remember if you were on the office hours or if it was just Amy, Tyler, and myself yesterday afternoon.
I was there.
So the biggest opportunity that we have is to get some feedback. ADL Ventures, to provide a little bit of backstory, they get compensated for being a connector, and there's a line item. So, you know, the thing that was pretty fabulous is that it was a couple of younger girls, younger, probably 20 somethings, later 20 somethings. I think Madeline Bundy was, and I think it even talks about it right here, graduated from MIT. So, you know, really, really smart ladies. And, you know, they've got some experience with working with ADL Ventures that has provided guidance to other teams that have been through this process already. So that's the opportunity that we have, is to circle back with them, and they can provide some feedback to us. And ideally, we'd like to have that happen, you know, Monday morning, Monday afternoon, so that when we circle back with our working group that we currently have scheduled on, what is that for on Monday? I think it's 5 Eastern time. Yeah, 5 Eastern time is when we've got that. So, and the goal is to try to get everything finalized for our submission package by Monday evening at the conclusion of our working group. Hope to have everything where we can say, okay, this looks awesome. We're going to click go, and that's what we've got. So we've got a half an hour. Do we want to keep going? We want to talk about NFTs. We want to talk more about the submission package. What does everybody think? One thing, here's one thing that I want to have a better understanding of what this looks like. And it looks like Tyler's ready to join us. So welcome, thanks for joining here, Tyler. We were making some solid progress on our initial narrative, like one of the things that Dax is going to help with, and there's a few takeaways. So if you could work with Dax on and myself, we're going to try to get the team and the working groups in a nice little table that will look beautiful on our GitHub page.
The technical assistance request is they are the companies that is associated with American Made Solar or American Made, and you choose which one you need assistance with. I think they have logos under that. If you look at their website, they have the companies that they align with. Those are the people, if you want technical assistance with them, look at the resources. Those people will be in the resources here.
Yeah, so, and this is something that I'm going to spend some more time looking at. So this one right here, Amy? Okay.
Yeah, I think they have a group of companies that you can say, well, I need our NREL's help to do this. I need blah, blah, blah to do this.
Yeah, and I'm just pulling that. I think I actually went through and looked at and did some, whatever it's called, the details. I think I went through and then it generated. So, and this is something that I'll take an action item to see if somebody else wants to go through. I need to have a better understanding of how to fulfill this requirement, because I don't completely understand that right now. And that's something that I'll do a better job having a personal understanding of what that looks like, and you know, how we can make, because I think that this is an opportunity for us to make use of the resources within the NREL, is the National Renewable Energy Laboratory network. And I think that that's a huge opportunity that we have. And I think that that's kind of the way that this Ready, Set, Go is architected, is to really like bring the resources together so that we can really deliver on making good use of this government money that's being thrown down the gauntlet here. Right.
Jason,
Mhm.
if you're able to identify, maybe not this time, I don't know if you can choose one or two companies that you want to align with. If you get chosen as a winner, those companies will give you a budget that you can use. They're like gifting you, let's say $500,000, I don't know, whatever the amount is, like to use their technology to help you move your idea forward. That's why they want to ask what kind of technical assistance you want, is because at the end of the contest, whoever you chose there, they might give you that budget to
Can
work
we
with
go
them.
through the list?
That's something
Can we
that I
go
would
through the
encourage.
list of people that they have? Where's the link?
So that's something that I would encourage everybody to do, because this is something that I went through and did
What-
this myself. So these were based upon the ideas that I had, and it generated a deal based upon me that I personally did for this chart. So that's something that everybody has the opportunity to do. So that's one of the things that I would encourage everybody to do between now and tomorrow, is look through and pick one or two of these, and anybody that delivers one or two, I think that that's worth a 25 REtoken bonus. What does everybody think on that?
I think that is good. Don't forget my REtoken on the research that you didn't.
Absolutely. I've got that over here, and I'll make sure that's one of the things that I'm curbing the, and this is something that we'll circle back with next week after we get our submission. I don't like, I'm just parking that on the shelf, Amy. So if we could park that on the shelf until middle of next week, so that we can focus on our, so going back here to the ask and the opportunity right now, the way that I understand this technical assistance request, and I'll actually go through to add a little bit of verification, because I just went through and did the sign up over here with REtoken. So let me go here to this same page with the REtoken profile. Well, I'll do it later, I guess. It looks like it's having an error signing in. So their Google Authenticator, or their SSO with Google, is not well polished. So, but my understanding is that this is on a per person basis, as far as, and it based upon the criteria of how that you select these. And there's one for both the hardware and the software track. So this is the one for the hardware, and going over here to the software, like the resources, and then the technical assistance, like, because you'll see a little bit different, because it's a different page. So this is 34. So, and you can see here on the screen, add your technical needs. And my understanding is that this is on a per profile basis. So everybody has the opportunity to go through, and this is kind of like a homework assignment, where And I'll actually say, let's do 25 for the hardware track and 25 for the software track. Bring two resources that you think and why that you think that they would be good resources. And if you do that between now and tomorrow's working group, 25 extra, and I'll do add this to an official voting proposal process just to follow our documented voting proposal process. And that's, again, one of the opportunities that to bring all this together, all the stuff that's happening here through the TokenTown working groups. I'm going to work on getting that summarized, but you can see what it looks like. I didn't go through this myself for the software challenge. You can see what it looks like when I went through. It provided the details, and it was like what 15 or 20. Like I rated robotics. Like, I don't think we have much need for robotics because we're not manufacturing anything ourselves here. What we're looking to do is bring other solution partners. Like, and going back, this is one that I've brought up before, and I'll bring it up again because they're headquartered here in Denver. They have a facility that they're working on bringing in online in Grand Junction. And what that facility will provide is the opportunity to reduce the construction time substantially on housings. And I think one of the bullet points that they had from the Opportunity Zone Expo was reduce the normal construction time by 50%. So the benefit of that is, you know, anytime that you can reduce anything, that provides a better opportunity for investors to get a return on their money. Because time where you're not, like when you're talking about housing, there's going to be capital dollars that are deployed for the land, and anything that we can do procedurally or with partners that can reduce the times, that will again increase investor return, and that will make it easier for capital to come into our project, if that makes sense. So is everybody clear? And I'll throw a little Trello card over here real quick. So let's see, tasks to earn REtoken. Homework assignment. I'm going to put this in quotes from tt0 working group number 6. Research, provide 2 technical resource recommendations for either hardware or software track. 25 REtoken per track. Is that easy to understand, Delio there? I'll move this to the top here. This was proposed during Zoom meeting. I'll put this in a comment for.
So you want us to find 2 that we think that would benefit in some way, and do research on that, and then just bring that back to you.
Yeah, and like, so again, everybody's going to have a different meter, and this is the value of people going through that effort themselves, because you might fill this out a little differently. And then what's generated down here, you know, like global citizen consulting, this sounds interesting. Like, that's probably one that I would look at. And based upon how that University of Arizona, and I don't know, like just doing a search here for Colorado Smart Cities Alliance. See, this would be an easy opportunity, because like you know, we're TokenTown Colorado, right? So like connecting with other people, and we've got 4 matches on Colorado. So, and Colorado Smart Cities Alliance has strong representation. So this is definitely somebody that we need to put on our radar, because I'd never heard about Colorado Smart Cities Alliance 30 seconds ago. So that's, again, the value that this portion of the contest provides, is the opportunity for connecting, utilizing the very vast government network of resources. Is that a correct summation based upon your understanding, Amy?
Yeah, the technical assistants are the people that will act, that we may ask for help in the future. So yeah, when you do your research, think if it will benefit us if we align with them.
And here's another Colorado. So like Colorado Clean Tech Industries Association, smart cities. So I'm just going to take a screenshot of both of these because, you know, like here's kind of me going through and doing my homework assignment, and you know, whether I see different people on the other one, with just the proximity of Colorado, you know, it should be a no-brainer to reach out to people here in Colorado for TokenTown, Colorado. And I'm going to do a screenshot of this here. So is that homework assignment and the ask and the opportunity clear for everybody?
Yeah, I think so.
Don't forget to include the bio so they don't forget.
Yeah, and let's
The
do
100
well. Yeah, that should be a pretty easy ask. I mean, I have no problem. Let's do a 10 retoken bonus for that too, right? I mean, we've got retoken here. Let's.
You don't have to put a token with it. I'm just saying to remind them.
Well, I can, Amy. Like, you know, we've got tokens.
Okay,
like,
okay. I will take token anytime.
Okay, well, let's do it. Bio. Let's call it the official / public bio for Hero X American made solar prize. And so when do we want to say that this needs to be due for people to be eligible for their 10 retoken? Do we want to put a time frame on that? 10.
I think everything should be due tomorrow afternoon.
Since we're giving out 10 retoken, I have no problem making that. This was discussed, proposed during tt0wg6 Zoom meeting. Notes. In order to receive 10 retoken, this must be completed by 3 p.m. on Sunday. And that's October 3rd. And time for tt0wg7. Next scheduled. Oh wait, it's 5 o'clock. No, 3 o'clock. Next scheduled working. And I'll put both of the links in here too. In our TokenTown at TokenTown. Opportunities to earn some bonus retoken. We'll submit proposal after our tt0wg6 Zoom meeting. And that was for that one. And let me get the. So we've got about 15 minutes left, or any final thoughts before we wrap it up here for, I appreciate everybody hanging out today. I feel really good about what we got done. We got our TokenTown Colorado social token created. One of the things I'm going to take that I still need to do is the legal stuff on the Colorado side. And I have no problem doing that during a working group if somebody wants to see that. It's I don't know how interesting that stuff is. It's not something I personally like doing, but it is an important aspect to have in place, and then also just creates, you know, protects us for what we're creating here, and we're creating a lot. that's the fabulous thing about this, is that we're creating a lot in a very short period of time. Let me see. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. All right, so any thoughts on that, everybody? I feel good about with some homework assignments that we created here, as far as some things that we can work on. And the more that everybody learns about the opportunity, because literally I believe that we're very strongly positioned for our team to win collectively 100 grand. And that's a large amount of capital to create what we're working on creating here. And then the opportunities, like the thing that's so fabulous about the framework that we're doing, the opportunity to start a TokenTown Memphis, or a TokenTown Atlantic City, or a TokenTown Austin, or TokenTown Houston. Texas is very, very high on the radar. One of the things that Mrs. Yonks and I, we're wanting some closer proximity to her family in Ohio, and we've already talked about Columbus. So Columbus is definitely a place that we would like to see a TokenTown created, and the opportunity to scale out this infrastructure. I mean, we all saw how easy it was to put in some governance mechanisms, and the better that we can do through TokenTown, the mothership, if you will, making it easy to spin up. And that's one of the things that I think that we can do through the framework that we are creating here, and how that we're setting that up, make it very easy to do, other projects, and then just really change the whole capital raise dynamic for building out neighborhoods. And that's one of the fabulous things in. And then once we get a track record for that, we might even have the opportunity to come into some legacy neighborhoods, So anyway, I'm going to stop talking for a minute, finish my tea here, and I'm going to let anybody else feel free to chime in on some final thoughts before we wrap this up here on Saturday evening.
Thank you, everyone, for working hard and staying up late to finish this. We really appreciate you.
Thank you for those words of encouragement there, Amy, and appreciate all that you do for hanging out with us. I see Teresa's got her mic open. Go ahead, Teresa.
Oh, no, I was just going to join in on the appreciation. Thanks for putting your ideas out there and putting in the work.
And thank you for joining the team, Teresa. We love the contributions that you make, and you're always carry a strong stage presence, and love that about you. So again, I stand firmly behind the core belief that team together, everyone achieves more. And we do have the opportunity, I believe, through TokenTown and REtoken to truly provide a real solution to the global affordable housing crisis. It's not a question, it's an absolute fact that homeownership here in America is shrinking at an alarming rate. The middle class is eroding, and that's one of the things that I think through how we're architecting this. And one of the things too, to just kind of put this out here, and it's not something that we need to necessarily think about for the submission of this, but one of the things like the opportunity to develop, I would prefer to not even talk about like a rent type of dynamic in the accommodations here in TokenTown, but more of a shared equity appreciation model. And I don't know if anybody knows anybody about financial modelers, but or the opportunity to get really creative on the capital side. But that's one of the things that's fabulous about the security tokens, is that we have the opportunity through the security tokens, the smart contracts, working with opportunity funds. The thing that's so great about the opportunity funds is that they're operating largely on a 10-year time preference. So anyway, that's just kind of a final takeaway, and just like, I really like the shared equity appreciation concept instead of even the rent term. Because one of the things that Tyler and I have talked about is we want to foster communities where we help renters become owners. And we really believe, like, one of the things that I have had and will continue to have conversations about is creating a movement surrounding the ownership economy. And that's kind of like why that we're huge cooperative fans. But anyway, that's another conversation for another day. Does anybody else have any final thoughts before we give it a wrap here?
Yeah, babe, I want to chime in with everybody else. I know how hard you've been working more than anybody else. So for all of you guys who haven't already guessed this, he's been putting in like 16-hour days every single day. And this level of focus is something that I am sort of scared of and excited by. So anyway, just wanted to throw that out there.
Well, thanks. Love you, baby. Thanks for the words of encouragement.
Thank you, Jason. We know you work hard. We all know that. In fact, 90% of the work you do. So we appreciate you.
Well, I'm wanting to create here stuff where and that's one of the things, like, I'm trying to do with some of these like with some of these how-tos, like just trying to provide some documentation. I've got a whole Trello list here with some how-tos. But anyway, that's something that I'm committed to, like creating and empowering other people to know how to operate within this framework that we're creating. And it's a work in progress. I mean, we're barely just getting started. That's the thing that's so exciting when we think about all that we've accomplished in a very short period of time. But at the end of the day, we're still getting started here. And that's like going back to the roadmap. I'm super excited, like, to get back to the underlying vision of really creating a dynamic that's inclusive and having the tools. I know that Discord can be overwhelming for a lot of uninitiated, and you know, that's one of the things I'm excited about having more conversations in the tools meeting is, and Tyler and I are personally planning on getting a sneak peek of what they're doing over at Planner DAO, because one of the tools that we're going to have some conversations about during our community tools is Mighty Networks, and our conversation from Adam Bloomberg, the founder of Planner DAO, which is a DAO for financial planners. And I think that Planner DAO is a unique opportunity for a synergy between REtoken and Planner DAO. Is I really envision that REtoken, that we over time, especially with what we're creating here, that will attract a lot of real estate professionals or aspiring real estate professionals when they really start getting it. And that's one of the things that I think that we have a huge opportunity is for us to help it easier for them to get. And at the blockchain real estate and also at the digital assets and securities conference, that's still not a story that's effectively being told. Most of the stories that are being told right now is looking through the lens that the underlying technology, the benefits that the technology provides, not looking through the lens of the people that are creating these real estate tokenization deals. And that's the biggest opportunity that we have to tell a compelling story. And I think that TokenTown will be a very real opportunity for us to architect an amazing story here and really bring light of that through what we're creating here at TokenTown. Well, any final thoughts? We've got 5 more minutes here. This is one last opportunity. The 30 minutes that we had is dwindling fast, but I enjoy these conversations, and I literally lose sleep over them because I'm having fun here most of the time. Well, on that note, I think I'm gonna bring her to a wrap, and hopefully I'll get these videos uploaded so that I can have some links for the table that we're gonna make their DAX, and I'm excited to see what you can make it. It looks pretty easy to me, but you know, I'm open to somebody else doing some of the markdown language, and anybody else that wants to hop in there, feel free to participate. The markdown language is something that we use on the Trello cards. That's how I get some of the nice formatting there. And then also on the snapshot proposal, that's one of the reasons like that have been using the Trello cards, because I can just copy and paste the markup from the Trello card into a snapshot proposal and boom, looks all nice and pretty. But anyway, everybody have a wonderful Saturday night. Thank you for sharing your time with us here so that we can move this project forward and hopefully making this fun for everybody as well. But everybody have a great night. Looking forward to catching up with everybody tomorrow afternoon, those that can make it.
Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
everyone.
Thanks,
night.
everybody. Good night.
Thank you all.
See you
Good
guys
night.
Take
tomorrow.
care. Bye-bye. Good night.